We are live. Okay, coming in live. We're sitting here reading manga, and we're here to talk about it. Going over to you, Walt.
Uh, I don't remember anything in the last 20 minutes. I saw some men enter my room and then they flashed me.
Oh, and it's not the inappropriate flash. It's just the one that removes your memory.
Oh yeah,
So
the
we
good
are
stuff.
dealing with Men in Black, but on paper, in manga, written by Fusainaba. Aliens Area. Okay, so coming in live. No, but oh, all right, guys. I'm Baron J67. I
You're
talk
not.
a lot,
What?
and you are.
I don't remember. My name is Walter. You can call
Yeah,
me
there you
Walt,
go.
but you're not gonna call me because you're not here. You're not here live. This is recorded. This is all a ruse.
Yeah, it's fake news. No, hey, my fear is one day I'm gonna hit the start streaming button, and like somebody's gonna be live during our time, and we're gonna be live
And
and
we
like
mess
kick
up.
them off. Yeah, and it's just gonna ruin a whole thing. But okay, back to the point. So we are continuing our journey here at the Page Turners podcast, where we like to sit here and talk about what we're reading. And currently, we're running through a whole slew of manga, and this is our third manga we're covering because we covered Chainsaw Man, Kaiju number 8, and now we're on Aliens Area. And what makes this one special is it's not anytime soon that we know of being animated. It's not all over the news. This is something that's just special for us. And what's so cool is this one would actually do all right as a show because it's grounded in something that pop culture already acknowledges and knows a lot about. They wouldn't have to dig too deep if they marketed it right. And Aliens Area is manga Men in Black, and
Mhm.
Men in Black in Japan, and it's dope. I'm hooked. I like that the you get a wide variety of things, right? Like the main character in these three chapters that we read looks like Zatch Bell's little sister. That's what I thought of as soon as I saw her. Like, you know, and I'm jumping ahead, but
No,
it
no.
looked like
We're
Zatch
everywhere.
Bell.
We're everywhere.
And so far in the story of Aliens Area, we have a character, and I want to say his name, not Tachi. Yeah, it's Tachi. That's the short, right? Is it Tachibana? I want to say his name is Tachibana.
Who? Which one?
The main character. Oh, Tatsu. Tatsu.
Tatsu. Yeah.
Tatsu. Tatsu and his
Sharaku.
yeah, his boss,
Yeah, his
partner,
Officially.
which yeah, officially now partner, which is weird because that means he like jumped above all the other people in the section.
Yeah. Which there are. So we'll touch on everything. Whatever we miss, we just even if it's not chronologically, we'll touch
Yeah.
on it. But as we touch on things, we'll say we'll go.
Yeah,
on it.
we'll
So,
try to give a little. So go ahead, Walt. Explain.
so the reason for I mean I think I don't know his intentions, but what he's saying, not what he really means. I don't know about that, but what he's saying is that he was also experimented on the same way that Tatsumi was,
Yep.
with the whole hand thing, because Sharaku has
A
a
giant
scar,
X.
and that's where they injected what they're calling dark cells.
Yes.
Dark cells,
And
and
I love how they go into the whole description of how humans use dark. They're like, anytime we don't understand something or it's outside of our known knowledge, we call it dark. Dark matter, dark energy, dark forces. Like, it's just anything that's not easily quantifiable or explainable. They mention it. I love every time they zoom out and draw Earth. I think it's the coolest. It almost, it gives me Adventure Time Earth vibes, even though it's not nowhere near the same style. But it's just the
right.
vibe and energy of it. When I look at it, I instantly think of Adventure Time because I always thought the Adventure Time planet was one of the coolest things ever. I might like steal that and put it on a shirt somewhere. But I really did. I was always hooked on it. But back to Aliens Area. So and don't be shocked if you like hear my family. I just hear them. They're here. But with Aliens Area, we are officially getting our first mission. You know, Tatsumi is on his first official mission, and it kind of was a accident the way it happened. I guess. Yeah. Right. Okay. So you thinking the same thing? Like, how do you how do you?
He's not even hiding it.
Yeah, Sharaku.
Sharaku's not even hiding it. He's you know, unless you show like basically demonstrate your powers in front of the higher ups during an encounter that, you know, just so happens to occur, they wouldn't recognize you.
Exactly.
And then boom, that they're doing something, which, you know, makes me to believe that either Sharaku knew, and he's like, he knows that he has the inside knowledge, or it's just a pattern. Like, they're always around here. I know where they operate, so I'm just gonna go through here and look, they're operating.
Partway through these chapters, I thought this was all a fake event created by Sharaku.
Interesting.
Honestly, at first, the way it kind of all played out, and it's more so because of Shiraku's demeanor. His whole, like, he looks at everything almost like, I'm trying to think of something that like Kakashi before anything bad actually happened. Like, he just knows everything, knows how to address everything, and is always one step ahead. And that's how he just seemed in this scenario up until, like, the big battle that within these chapters that took place. I truly believed we were seeing, like, this was just all made up situation to run Tatsumi through his paces.
Until we get the reveals of the perpetrators, and like, which again, I don't know where we're going. I mean,
yeah.
To circle back to how we got there, because the last chapter we read, he was gonna spar with one of the team members.
Yep. And
he unveiled the rock hand.
Yeah, the hand of God.
The hand of God, just the I think it's rocks. It looks like it's made out of a mineral.
Oh, well, since they're using the word cells, it could just be like almost like a bone type thing, or like
yeah, I mean, like a
callus, like just a giant
callus. Like, I'm thinking, what is it?
Space calluses.
Like crystallized. Like, I'm imagining in a fantasy world where,
just
like,
the heel of a rough space
there's like when you see skulls and they have like obsidian or something, and like it looks like a material that is not his, but it's like a reaction of the dark cells.
Right. I wonder, does he have to put lotion on it? Like, does
Bruh,
he have to,
that thing needs to be filed, sandpaper it, like it. Just a whole hand,
right?
And then Sharaku goes in and he's just filing.
I wonder, do they have to clean it up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, or is it?
But
like
that implies dirty. So, like, what's the dirty? Like,
well, no. I meant, like, after he dissolves it. Like, is it like in the air?
But what does he leave? What does he leave?
Yeah, bro. There's so many questions that we skip over as people who read. We just accept, and it's like, no, we need to figure out how we got here and why we're here.
It's the anime thing where, like, or like sci-fi, like when I watched Avatar in theaters yesterday, there's certain things that you're like, this is just sci-fi.
Yeah,
it's like,
accept it.
There's a computer and like the screen is like floating and they're like moving stuff around, and I'm like, I don't know how that works, but it's sci-fi.
I'm gonna tell you this though, we're closer to that than we're not. Have you ever, okay, off topic, quick subject. I worked a whole shift in VR once. I worked a whole 8-hour shift in VR. I forgot. I think it's called VR Immersed through the Oculus Quest 2. And I had 4 or 5 windows up. And I'm just legit. And then it has a thing where you can create a clearing. So it just looks normal at your keyboard and mouse and whatever else you want to look at. So I had my coffee. I even ate lunch in VR. It was the most nerdiest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, I had my helmet on and I was able to eat. Because it has a bunch of cameras on it.
Yeah.
And I was able to eat my lunch, work my full shift, drink my coffee. I was watching somebody play something in Discord, and I had a couple of windows up, and I only have 2 monitors. So to be able to work with 5 monitors in VR space, bro, And then I was on a satellite out in space floating around, like as I'm working, bro. We're close. We're
A whole
close to
trip.
it. Yeah.
It's doing that, but organic meets tech, and
Yeah.
like, because there's a whole part where a dude is looking at a computer and he has an iPad and he goes like this and he puts it in the iPad, and I'm like, what?
But
How?
bro, you know you can do that with your iPhone now.
Yeah, but it's in the
You
Apple
can just
ecosystem.
pick up it. Bro.
Yeah, it's but you have to like what is it? If you copy something on your iPhone and it's connected with the same account on your iPad and you hit paste on your iPad,
it has to be linked.
it has to be like the same account or something. Yeah, like there's restrictions to it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
Assuming that's like just grab and go.
So what we're saying is we're not fully linked with Dark Cells yet.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very foreign.
Staying on topic within this.
Yeah.
Would you accept Dark Cell technology?
It depends, because now we're seeing that it manifests differently. So
It's all his toenails only grow. Like that's the power.
so, like,
He put it in my
Bruh.
big toe.
that's nasty. Like, can I determine, because it's like Hunter x Hunter and Nen, and Nen manifests depending on you, your personality. Like, there's this whole power where the dude just throws like invisible darts like of energy and it'll hit someone like on another, like it's a whole thing. But in this one, once he did the he got recognized, you know.
Yeah.
We got a little monologue from
clout.
Sharaku.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
hey.
But he's chilling. He's humble. He's a humble dude. He's very different from someone like Itadori, where Itadori is humble, but he has the energy of someone that's like you know, I'm feeling myself, you know.
I feel like he is a calm Gojo. He is a tame Gojo. Like, clearly he's powerful as hell.
Yeah.
He does what he wants. Clearly, we see that as he interacts with some of the higher ups. He has
he's
a
more
lot
serious
of
than most protagonists as well.
Yes.
Which I appreciate, because
because
Denji's always messing around.
Yep.
Kafka is a goofball. Deku is always there's comedic. I mean, not anymore, but there was always, you know, a lot of comedy. The
whole tone of
Asta.
MHA like has really gone dark. But let's keep going.
Dude, no, y'all, MHA started with season 6. It just don't look back.
Yeah, it's a different show.
It was a different show. But in this case, like, he's remembering what Sharaku's told him. He has to use memories of his brother and sister to control it and control himself. And, you know, the classic, you know, think about something you care about, a concrete memory.
Keep war and peace separate.
Yeah. Or oh my God, your mind and your heart.
Yeah, there you go.
They need to be separate, you know. And it's an interesting way to start off with it, because it's like we don't know anything. We usually first know about the power scaling and systems, and then we go to controlling it. But it's like, no, we're dropping you. We're telling you how it works.
I think through Sharaku teaching Tatsumi how to use his powers, we're learning truly how powerful Sharaku is. And that should have been a really big foreshadow that I didn't pay attention to. That clearly Sharaku is either once had something or currently has some power. Because how do you know? And how is this whole organization trust just you with someone with these powers? Like, there was a lot of
Gojo.
things. Yeah, that's
like
why
Gojo
it's like
Itadori.
Gojo. Like, you didn't know, you figured how strong he was, but they, like, once you truly think about, like, here it is, the incarnate, the strongest thing ever.
And he says it. Gojo's like, "Oh, I'm the strongest sorcerer."
Yeah.
And he's like stretching, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I believe you. And then he shows, and then like even the higher ups, which Sharaku here, after they spar and everything, you know, the girl is like, "Oh, I'm sorry I did that," and she's like, "Oh, the higher ups are not gonna be happy about this. You know, they're talking about this," and Sharaku's like, "Well, we're gonna have to." Like, mess with them then. We're gonna have
like
to
it's
bring
no
it
big deal. Like he's very nonchalant. I haven't seen him elevate even throughout these 3 chapters, even with the major fight. I've never seen him break past even kill. Like, it's always been riding a happy medium, never too happy, never sad. Like, it's pretty. All this does, and the whole point of me even saying any of this is it leads to that he is strong as hell.
Amen.
And I don't think we've even seen half of what he can do.
Well, I also think that he does have his. So far, there's no weakness of him, but more on he needs Tatsumi to effectively function, because in one of the fights, in the one fight that we get, the first like official like big fight, he's about to get hit, and Sharaku's like, oh no, like I've taught him well. Like, they always need. That's why the whole partner thing works, because they really need to understand each other to be able to function well. You know, it's not just you're good, I'm good, we got it.
They even play off the yin and yang thing, because you got one person wearing a black suit, and then you have Sharaku rocking the white trench coat. Like, they lean into that heavy.
He's the real Man in Black,
right? It's I love that it's more than just a Men in Black clone.
Mm-hmm.
And then that fight scene. So I'm jumping ahead, and I apologize. So we get into a situation where a mission magically pops up. They somehow, some way fall into a situation. Well, they get a call. Yeah, they get a call, and they're just, I don't even know if they're on patrol, but they end up going to, how did they even get there? I forgot.
I think they just walked there.
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, they got called after they were done on the roof. Mm-hmm. He got called, and then he went to those a warehouse.
Yeah.
And there was some detectives there from the Foreign Affairs.
And I think they were higher ups.
They were. They were like higher. Even they were talking about higher ups.
Mm-hmm.
So those higher ups are the problem. That's who Sharaku wants to deal with more. And they were like, dude, you can't do this. Like, you're gonna get chewed out. Yeah. They're like, actually, like, hey, like this. They're showing how, okay, my guy, you can't just keep doing these things. You can't just show up just out of nowhere. And he's like, oh, you know, yes, he's like, just make sure it doesn't get out. Which, so far, it doesn't. And
you know what?
What?
Okay, so I'm once again me jumping ahead, because I just opened it.
Jump ahead, jump back. It doesn't matter.
I think Shiraku's power is the ability to successfully use multiple alien tech at once. I think that is the big
twist.
Yeah, because that
they did highlight it.
They highlighted it.
They were like, two at once.
And yeah, like, it was a big deal that he's using and then he was combining them successfully. And then I love how they did the typical shonen, like calling out the attack, like now it becomes. I forgot what the attack was called, but
it's something with gravity. Everything's
spacewalk.
Spacewalk. Everything, every power he has is about gravity except the electric staff. But everything is about mobility. He's a fast dude. He's not strong. He's just fast, and he knows where to hit.
And what's so dope is, like, and then they do a whole. I've never watched it, but I've always seen images. Mob Psycho. They do a whole Mob Psycho thing where everything's all lifting up around him. His hair goes up, gravity, repulsion, and just, you know.
Yeah.
I think
sci-fi.
Maybe, full on sci-fi. Like, we're there. Like, there's no magic powers here. This is science.
And we're already accepting the fact that you mentioned the little girl, princess that we find. It's crazy how this went from, you know, aliens and, you know, they're serious to there's a full-blown octopus that is sentient, and he's an alien.
Yep.
And he is this little princess's butler. And I can only imagine him speaking like, oh, like with that very deep, you know, like almost like British like accent. And like, oh no, this
with
guy
a slight gurgle, like an underwater gurgle.
Yeah,
I know they're definitely gonna have. Yeah, exact. Yep. That's it. Sign them up.
And it's funny because they were oddly, I don't know if humanized, but they were not necessarily like the feelings they were feeling. Feelings that they were actually feeling, you know, being scared. The little girl was very scared and crying, which to that point, the way that she demonstrates affection is by biting on Tatsumi's head. And just as she's biting, when she's scared, she starts crying. So it's funny how even though it's funny,
otherworldly.
It's like, yeah, and it's still sad, even though it's kind of funny.
I like how the aliens look like they're all from different manga. Like they're all drawn in different ways. It's not just like, oh, it's the same world art style, let me just draw them as aliens. It's almost like somebody, like, seriously, the princess,
They look otherworldly.
Yeah, the princess looks like Zatch Bell with longer hair. The octopus eyes are completely different than everyone else's eyes in the manga up to this point. It's like almost like it should be in a different manga. And I mean, you know me, I'm always paying attention to the weird layers, and I like that.
We love it. I love it. I love listening to it.
Let me see. So they're Tatsumi and Sharaku come to a scene, and they're finding out that something's going on, and they need them to investigate, and they're clearing the area, all that other business. You know, they're doing the typical cop thing, except it's with aliens, so they're wiping memories and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, that octopus guy jumps out of somebody's body, and what was crazy was, I don't know if he thought he was about to get caught. But he just takes off. Then they chase him, and then they end up in the warehouse, and that's where we meet the princess. Now, the big fight.
He was going to go to protect her.
He was going to protect the princess. Now, the big fight, the big finale with these chapters, or the end of with these chapters, was you get this. What's Saitama's apprentice's name?
Oh my God, Genos.
So we get a Genos clone.
Ninotachi Twin Blades.
Yeah, Ninotachi Twin Blades.
Yeah.
He really does look like Genos. Like 100%.
You know who he does remind me? And it is One Punch Man. He reminds me of oh my God, I forgot his name. The fast ninja.
Oh yeah, fighting style. I don't know his name because
Sonic something.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
purple
about.
Guy.
Yep.
Purple and black. This is what I'm vibing, because they're saying, this is what I'm getting, the vibes I'm getting. Because the octopus goes, which I forgot, Niame, I think is the octopus. Yeah. He goes, oh, you know, the strongest assassin in the galaxy. But then he goes, the strongest assassin in the universe. And then I'm like, I don't quite believe I believe you. Because this is just based on what maybe you know. Because it's hinted that this assassin wants to kill the princess, and he's already killed like 3 of the royal family. But then it's revealed apparently that he's killed everybody,
all of them,
and the plan is already out to kill her because she escaped. And apparently they didn't have this information, or they knew, and the butler was actually keeping it from her.
The butler was lying,
and the butler knows. That octopus knows. Which his power is like he mimics himself with like a human body. Very much like in Hunter x Hunter, Ikalgo, which is the little octopus guy that he gets on people's heads, and he like controls it like a parasite. Interesting how octopus are just portrayed as controlling and parasites. You know,
they're always super smart. Like I don't think I've ever seen a
like
octopus in movies or TV. Like if they're portrayed, they're always.
It'd be weird. Yeah. Only place I've seen an octopus in like live action is The Boys, and it gets eaten.
Yeah, well, a lot more.
And I'm not gonna say how and by who, but if you know The Boys, you know The Boys. We'll try to keep it PG.
Yeah, as best we can.
But I don't think this assassin is either the strongest in the universe, in the galaxy, or is the last time we're gonna see someone that's like, this is the strongest. I don't think they're gonna go One Punch Man style, where it's like, I'm the strongest. And Saitama is actually the strongest.
Yeah.
In this case, I feel it's like either Tachi's gonna come back, or there's better people, because it's a galaxy. I don't know if we're exploring the whole universe or just the galaxy. Is there intergalactic travel? Is there light speed? Is there how big are we getting? Are we staying on Earth? Are we going outside? Are we traveling through time? Because that's a thing sci-fi does a lot. Time shenanigans.
I mean, if we're already doing, if we're, I mean, to some extent, it has to exist. If you're traveling that fast,
Will they? My family got killed. Oh, then can we travel back and try to prevent it? What does this mean? Does there's
go
questions.
full Men in Black? That's what we're asking.
Absolutely.
Because all of these things happen in Men in Black.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everything you just said, from time travel to trying to go back and save family, put it past them. And yeah,
because
even the hooking up of species.
Because here's the thing, dark cells, dark matter, dark holes. What does a dark hole do? Apparently, what it does is that it goes. You can travel through time if you go into a black hole, or you can access a dimension that lets you access multiple dimensions, like they did in Interstellar. So who's to know?
I wonder if we're gonna see Dyson spheres,
bro.
See, I can nerd out about this all day. I'm telling you, but, right, with a capital.
They hang, they fight. It's an actual fight.
But it was a disrespectful fight, even though it was a real one. In my opinion, it was disrespectful.
Who got disrespected?
The greatest assassin in the galaxy.
He ain't no great assassin.
He got folded, and the way it went down, it reminded me of when Gojo beat the snot out of Sukuna. Yeah,
first time.
He just sat on him, beat him up. Okay, so this is what you do. All right, and then he was all talking to him. He was talking to
and smiling and laughing.
And he was like, "Oh, let's use this as a teaching moment." That's what made me think it was fake. The way he was talking.
Yes. It reminded me of a scene in Jujutsu Kaisen, the movie. Have you seen the movie?
Yes. Spoils.
Where Gojo, I'm not gonna say who, but Gojo is.
Oh yeah.
Slapping the hell out of this man.
It's a viral meme you see.
It's a viral meme. The meme goes, L ratio,
Yeah, it's bad.
But he gets folded, and the dude is like, I'm one of the strong. Yeah. Mind you, strong as hell. And without Gojo, this I think it was mentor or something. He has a whip. Man is strong.
He has power. And then he's crafty. The dude has I'm talking about this. We're going back to
yeah. No, keep going. Tachi, no, they're thinking.
Yeah.
Wits.
Yeah, and there was a couple of moments where it looked like, Sharaku was about to die.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least he was
genuinely.
he was put in a position where you're not gonna make it, bro. But no. 100%, the assassin dude got dog walked in the worst, most embarrassing ways possible. And what made it funnier was he kept saying "Oh, you're just a human," and then the octopus. It kept jumping back and forth to the octopus, saying "Oh, there's no way he can beat him. We're dead. What do you mean? We're there was no faith." But long story short, at the end of this chapter, you end up seeing the octopus guy get put back into a human form, and him and the princess, they get put into a facility or a housing complex that's put aside. That's all nothing but aliens, and they were officially designated as refugees. Refugees. There you go. And it just I hope that for a couple of more chapters, that it feels like a NCIS type thing, or
I like some low downtime. I like some
just give me a cop
investigating
drama. Yeah, there's a situation. Let's solve it. Let's walk off into the sunset because we saved the day, or it went bad. Sometimes I feel like some manga or just stories in general just get so caught up in making the long arc, and you need this big 30 issue or 20 episode situation to go down, when you have a perfect opportunity to make basically one shots with each chapter.
More episodic.
Yeah, they could really. I mean, because they're literally cops. They're space cop. They're alien cops.
Yeah, they're when foreign affairs, what would that be designated? Like, what's that?
Like FBI. They're like,
FBI,
they're like FBI.
They're federal agents.
Yeah,
basically.
and they could literally do because I like the way it ended. You know, sometimes I like to watch a one episode solid, tie the bow, story's complete. What happened here happened here. Now you can get the similar characters or the same characters but a different story. I like that. Like,
This could be a one shot. Like,
yeah,
these 7 chapters.
This could
just be a
yes.
One shot. You know, we're using the term very loosely because one shot is literally one issue, one chapter, but it's like 20 pages per chapter. So imagine all these chapters combined, because usually a one shot is like 100 to 200 pages.
Mm-hmm.
This could all just be one singular story,
and it could stop here, and it would be a clean cut. Like, now we know
there's enough stakes, like within these. That's like, oh, the strongest assassin. Oh, this guy is actually really strong, and it leaves you with a lot of questions.
Yep. And I like it. The reason I say all that is because I got a feeling it's about to crank up. I haven't read ahead, but just because of how neat this ending was. I got a feeling it's just about to boom and take off. Part of me hopes I'm wrong though. How many chapters are there for this?
17 so far.
Oh yeah, it's about to crank up.
And it's when's the next one is in 5 days. Listen, and this is weekly, I think. It's a weekly release. There's a lot. I mean, when cranking it up, you have to be ready with content. Listen, the greatest manga ever made in terms of sales, popularity, and longevity, One Piece, has one singular world, and this man has achieved the impossible with barely. When they got to the middle part of One Piece, it felt like, oh my god, there's still so many questions and so much to it. They're not in space.
Nope.
They're not exploring planets. It's the sea. It's pirates.
Yeah.
It has so much to explore. Naruto had so much potential to explore more because there was like more nations towards other places.
There was so many villages they could have.
We stayed in the line of fire, which is fine, but there's a lot of things that didn't go the way that I thought, and it was kind of whatever. But this case, if you're gonna go all the way out into space, make sure you're ready.
Almighty push.
No. Almighty push. Don't almighty push your way out of this already. Make sure to take your time and not, you can show me the edge of the universe. I don't care. But make sure that there's enough questions left. You don't want me to be like, okay, I feel like I'm good.
This has potential. It really does. And that's
really good.
That's why I'm kind of hoping we get. And it's funny because it wouldn't be filler. Like, it just, I wouldn't mind watching an alien cop drama where it's like a atypical Western cop drama, like how like NCIS. I love watching those shows. I call it hotel room TV. Like, whenever I travel for work and I just turn it to TBS and it's just looping. I can watch that all day. I can watch that all day.
It's not the most intricate thing ever, but I think it's a good watch. But Lucifer has that kind of thing where
it does.
It is a drama, but it deals with super, larger than life things.
But it still encapsulates it in the cop drama.
It's crazy because in Lucifer you deal with things of even alternate universes. Yep. And still the most important thing is Chloe and Lucifer.
Yep.
It's still that's when okay, you built something good that's your emphasis. Just don't mess it up.
Yeah, they're still the buddy cop. Just keep
exactly.
And so that's all we read up to, guys. Clearly we're going off on a tangent. This has probably been our shortest episode by far.
Listen, you need to because we got a little bit of time. Remember, guys. You need to watch One Piece or read it because
I wonder.
You speed run manga. I want you to read One Piece, man.
I know a part of me does. Is the manga way better than the show?
By a million. The show there's moments where the quality lacks in terms of animation, and pacing is abysmal. It
Oh,
got better later
the
on.
pacing is better in the manga.
Yeah,
I
because
thought
you'll have Dragon Ball Z moments where they drag the hell out of a fight or a moment, and they recap for like 5 minutes. Yeah, it's the manga is just quick and
oh, then I'm gonna have to read it.
dude, it's at 1069. There's
Okay.
1069 chapters, and I kid you not when I say it only has gotten better. And the latest chapter revealed something that was hinted at like 700 chapters ago.
That is so crazy.
Oda is a madman.
Bro, you have to be but you know what makes what bothers me is how can this man stay on track with 1,000 issues, and we seen with Dragon Ball Z where so much stuff was like forgotten, like legit forgot. Didn't the author claim he forgot something? Like he was like, oh, who was it? There was a couple, but that beside the
An
point.
author that does this, Araki from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Apparently he's gone on record saying that he doesn't remember half the things that he draws. That's why JoJo is so insane. And it's like, oh no, yeah, I just write, and I don't remember a lot of it, but he just keeps writing. But it's still kind of like, because every volume is like its own self-contained thing in a way. Like there's things that are brought up, there's a continuity, but it still feels like they can be their own thing. Like you can start at part 4.
Yeah, and that's what I think. I watched the first one, the second one, and then I kind of stopped. I probably won't read JoJo's. It was just a lot. Some things are just too much for me. But folks, like real talk, please read Aliens Area, and just pick up a manga and read it, bro. Like this work is so. I have a bad habit of when I read something, it makes it difficult for me to want to watch it. Like, even though I know that my hero is now back, I have no urge to watch it.
They're so behind compared.
Yes. That's
like,
the problem. Like, I'm years ahead. Based on the pacing.
We are years ahead.
We are years.
Here's the thing.
Like, my kid will be, like, getting ready to go to middle
teenager.
school. Yeah. About time it catches up at the pace that it's going.
Like,
Serious.
It's crazy how my mentality, what I've done, Bleach is coming back with the final arc, and I've never read or watched Bleach. I've maybe watched one episode. But my mentality is
watched it. I just never read it. I'm sorry.
Whenever I go to read Bleach, I'm just going to watch the fights, and then I'll keep reading. Like, with One Piece, what I'm doing, I'm watching one pace. Essentially, some people decided to cut down One Piece and make it manga form. And so episodes, there's an arc that's about 100 episodes. They made it 49. So it's like they're doing the Lord's work. No, it's Dressrosa. Fishman Island is actually pretty short, and the pacing is pretty good in the anime. It's just the middle of the anime of One Piece. It drags so much that people actually stopped watching it.
I know for me, without spoiling, I made it. I want to say after the first big battle. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna say this. What made me feel good about not continuing One Piece, watching at least, and not feel bad about it, was every article I came across that said top moments in One Piece, I've seen. And all of these articles are written well after a lot of the, further ahead. And it was almost sad. I know we're not here to talk about One Piece, but
we are. But we are talking about One Piece because it's the best thing ever in shonen. But listen, real quick, before we finish this off, I know what you mean until I watched it. Because I would always see top 10 saddest, top 10 happiest, top 10 fights.
All of that. And I
relived those moments by watching the anime, and I have never cried so much.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so... Listen, y'all. I'm the kind of person that if I'm reading a manga that I'm on chapter 3 and there's 400 chapters of it, I'm gonna look up, does this person die? Does this person do this?
You
I
like to
don't
ruin it
mind
for
spoilers,
yourself?
my guy. If I control them.
Gotcha.
If someone's like, hey, guy, you want to fight? Don't ruin my day. Let me be mentally prepared, and I'll look it up. You know when you're on Google, Tatsumi, and the first thing that shows up, death. And it's like, what the hell?
Did you notice they barely adjusted that? Now you have to click like, I forgot what that manga wiki is, or the anime wiki. You now have to click to drop down their current status, because it used to be the first thing to pop up.
Oh yeah.
And now it's an extra step you have to take, and God bless whoever
Thank
did
God.
that. No, because I made the mistake of I think it was during like Tokyo Revengers, and I looked up a character and it was like deceased. I was like, what?
Tough.
What?
That's tough.
Oh, what? But
how? Anime noise.
We need to stop, guys. I'm Baron J67. You can get all your news from LV1 Gaming, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you can watch all our craziness here.
Yes, sir. And I'm Walt Lando, and you can check the DualShock and Sense podcast this Saturday. Hopefully, that last Saturday was canceled because of Hurricane Ian. But stay tuned, and also go to Level 1 Gaming for all your reviews and all your news, and stay tuned for more shows, because we got a lot going on. Go check the Double XP podcast that just happened about like an hour ago, where Fane was wilding at the beginning, and you always love to catch that man in 4K.
Yeah, God, he really went there. But yes, we're gonna and let us know below in the comments what other manga we should look at, because we're gonna talk behind the scenes and try to figure out if we're gonna go back and cycle through what we've been reading, or if we're gonna mix in something new, or if we'll continue with Aliens Area. Let us know in the comments what you guys want to see, and maybe that'll help lean into the direction of which way we're gonna go. Much love. Peace.